episode 5 of the Factorio Space Age Big Marathon, which means that the tech has a 60 times tech multiplier, and then there are a bunch of mod planets that we've added. A bunch of planets. It's fine, we'll get to them eventually. We are not there yet. We are working towards electric engines, we are working towards the bots. We do have the blue science going. We've been doing a bit of cloud maintenance. We definitely want to push these guys out of the cloud because we're definitely going to want this space later, and it's going to be easier to do this now than later when they get more evolution. There's already some mod planet stuff spilling over onto Novus. It's probably fine. We're taking a surprising amount of damage here. I'm not super happy with this. But yeah, there's some other monsters that are going to turn up on a mod planet that are also turning up on Novus. Don't really worry about it. We're just going to push these guys out of our cloud. We will want all of these resources because we will... give me these back. We will definitely want to be doing all of the resource collection and all of the research, and hopefully we don't die here. We're probably fine. Oh, this is a medium worm, that's why. That took a bit of punching to get done. I don't think we've lost any turrets. Let's also not stand on the acid while we... I don't think we lost any turrets there. Let's check. Did we lose any turrets in the last one? In the last 10 minutes? No, we have lost nothing. It's fine. No one is really concerned. We've got a bunch of turrets taking damage, but whatever, yeah. We are going to want all of these resources, and it's going to be easier to do this combat now rather than later. And I also wanted to wander down here and just confirm... Oh, we're not confirming. It is in fact a kind of awkward land bridge. I really thought that was going to be just water all the way around. Okay, I guess we're not doing that. Okay, so that's what combat looks like now. I don't really want to push larger nests than that. These guys are going to have to go. This looks like a good place we can eventually wall once we get bots. All of these resources are things we definitely want. This whole mess over here, I'm kind of hoping to not engage, or maybe we could do it with the landmines. We've got like a couple of nice places we could put land bridges to secure a large amount of resources. These guys I'm pretty sure are just worms. We went there a while ago. And yeah, the base is kind of spreading out. We're doing belt outposting stuff. We've got a whole bunch of ghosted power grid that bots can hopefully get around to building. We've got little intermediate outposts that have got like secondary malls and then belts of helpful stuff going back towards the main base, because that's the patches that were around there. We've got multiple science hub over here, science hub over here, a military science stuff going into chests. We've got blue science that we are kind of cranking out and working through. So that's, yeah, we do need more iron on these belts, are a thing that we recognized we needed, and we've got space on the patch, we just haven't got around to doing it yet. We've also got this iron, which is much larger than I remember, actually. Maybe this is going to be pretty easy because we've got also more coal here, and yeah, we've got the red chips thing that we wanted to go back to. I think we've got some modules sitting around there. I think that's the next thing we were going to go and do anyway. And yeah, I don't really feel like building big walls myself. We're going to try and get to bots and do that, and hopefully we can be on bots this episode. And yeah, we are on a 60 times multiply, but we have mucked around a bit with the pollution settings and the evolution settings, which means that the bugs will more or less keep pace with us, which means we should have a variety of interesting decisions to make. And this is not moving as much as I was expecting. I was expecting... Wait, we've completely beefed the red chips ratio, haven't we? It's not 30 red chips assemblers for a whole lane of plastic, it's 30 red chips assemblers for a half lane of plastic. Is the plastic even... Yeah, we're only running the front half of the plastic. This is okay. That's mildly unfortunate. I think there are going to be a bunch of problems we solve with modules. Give me all of these guys. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do fewer modules here, but we're also going to change this with speed modules as well, which was going to be the plan. Like, we were going to go purple science, upgrade all these assemblers, beacons in the spaces that kind of look like they're reserved for beacons, because they are, but it looks like we won't... Does that also mean we're... Yeah, we are not getting out all of the red chips we need for the science. That's going to be interesting. I was expecting, because the blue science is kind of not really as large as we needed, that we would be banking red chips for things like... Why is... Oh, because these are also chest red. Yeah, garbage. That we should be banking red chips for things like roboports, but we're also not doing that. These efficiency modules are to go, you know, pretty much wherever, kind of doesn't matter. Things that are... Do I have inventory space? You can have some of this stuff. Wait, why are you guys not running? Are you... Oh, because... Okay, fine. Give me these things back. The military science isn't really running because it doesn't have grenades, because grenades get their iron after we make the pipes and gears for the engines, and we just don't have enough iron coming down here. So that little hand feeding of grenades should probably do a thing. Do I have... I have 10 bullets because I died recently, which was pretty funny, and then I wanted to make space in my inventory to help move this military science over, because we don't have full belt automation yet, to these little boxes over here that we have not actually done any military science research for yet at all, I believe. Yeah, damage 3 is here, landmines are here, flamethrowers still not a thing yet, so we've not actually used any of the vast... Do I need to clear this as well? I think I do. This initial sushi is also kind of garbage. Do I still have... I don't have the prod mods. Yeah, these guys are supposed to be... We have a sushi of iron and copper in one side, and that's also because these guys are full. Yeah. Cool, cool, cool. That's great. Variety of problems we need to solve. We also still haven't fixed the red chips thing. This is supposed to be a coal buffer eventually, but also kind of not yet. Yeah, get in the car. Oh wait, we were here for the speed modules because we also wanted to fix the red chips thing. So we've got 5 or 6 things to address, no big deal. Somewhere in here, is it this box? So this box has the speed modules we want. I don't think we need all that many more prod mods yet, but let's have some. And yeah, we've got this little walled area, which I kind of want to do with a stone dais, kind of like a flooring thing, but we haven't done that either. We've just given it some walls. Yeah, we do have miners running out, which is fine. If we're going to be here, then we're going to take some more of these as well. Back over to the chest over here. Actually, it's blue science is the thing we need, isn't it? Because blue science is... Yeah, do these even fit? They do not. Okay, cool. Cool, cool. A whole lot of military science over here. That's fine. And then we also needed to clear out this coal so that things continue to run. Is that true? It's not quite true. We wanted to clear up this coal. Yeah, we need to be pulling coal off the side of the belt into these boxes because this thing here is just a sushi, and as long as everything is running, it's fine. There are like many problems where things are not running and then it's not fine, actually. We can just dump a bunch of coal on there because that means that this other coal will end up in this buffer. And yeah, we do want to go and fix the red chips. That's going to be a thing. And yeah, so I think we want to just go and build a whole bunch of bots. And then, is that true? I think the first thing we want to do is go and get... are these guys all sorted out yet? Can we have this processing, please? We've got a bit of space there. Those guys are going to pull the copper off. The steel, this weird little steel thing here, we're going to keep that fueled. I have noticed that we had some red chips in the inventory, so we're just going to pump those into prod mods as well, because why not? No reason not to. Can I clear out this bit of my inventory? Great. Thanks. The steel can do a thing. Those guys are, you know, fine. And then... yeah, I think at this point, most of the intermediates we want are moduled. Most of the labs are moduled. We have this bit of surplus of blue science. Oh yeah, the whole coal buffer thing, which we are going to worry about. I need to keep some for a car, but can you have the steel from my inventory? Good. Yeah, a lot of ratios are a bit of a mess. That's fine. Where did I leave the car? I left the car down here, and the car has other stuff that we also want. Great, cool. Okay, yeah, we need to be getting towards building the electric engines. Or at least doing the builds for those things, or at least preparing for that. So that's a nice... Why do you have speed modules? Whatever. That is going to be a nice quick way to get some of that science going again, and then we can just dump the rest in there. This is, yeah, a different coal sushi. We definitely made some moves when there were... Yeah, when we were setting this up in a hurry as the first couple of lanes of a thing. Yeah, these are... We're going to use the first 2 modules in each of these mining drills. It's going to help the global pollution a bit. It's one of those things that, because we're doing 60 times and kind of a weird hodgepodge of evolution and pollution settings, it's still worth thinking about. If we were on, for example, oh, here's the other stone I wanted for refineries. If we were on 1,000 times multiplier, it just would not be worth thinking about this stuff at all. We would just accept the fact that, do I want this wall? Can I have this wall? Yes. Yeah, we would just accept the fact that pollution was always going to be a disaster and not bother doing anything about it. However, in our current situation, none of those decisions are quite so straightforward. We will continue to have things we can do about pollution, and yeah, which of these guys are... Because there are also a whole lot of other... Do I want to take this back to... Yeah, let's grab these. Let's grab the stone. Let's take it over to where we're making refineries. These guys are also taking this pollution off. Yeah, not making quite so much pollution is generally going to make me feel better about things. Where did I left the car back up here. That's fine. Okay. Next, working towards, yeah, we still aren't making blue science at the rate that we are making red and green. So even as we are working towards, why? Oh, because batteries is why. Get rid of the solar panels. Batteries, flying drone parts, all of these things we need to now, oh yeah, that's the one we wanted. We wanted solar panels back. Construction robotics, worker robot speed 1 is down, worker robot speed 2, and then we should put a military science in the queue, because we've got all that military science. I think we're going to shuffle this around a bit. What speed are these? 30, 30, 60, are any of these 15? If you are 15, then we're going to throw the slow one, other way around. We're going to slow the 15 one, the 15-second tick immediately after the 60-second tick, because that will mean that there is red and green science built up on the belt, and we are kind of optimizing our lab usage in that way. And yeah, all this wall I don't really care about. The wall can, for the moment, just get in there and be fine, and we need to get modules back to a bunch of places, but we have moved blue science now, so that's cool. And then somewhere in here we have a box of stone. Yeah, moving all this around by hand does not feel great. I will need to go to... Yeah, let's get some undergrounds. Let's get the rest of the mining drills that are in this box, because we want to go back to... This is going to be enough. Yeah, belt is the thing that I needed, which is not here. The belt here mostly goes into the blue sides here. We want this belt. We want to be able to go and remodule the red chips again, so we're getting enough red chips, and then go and get more iron for the blue sides, I think is the next sequence of things we want to do. So first of all, speed modules. Do we actually have enough speed modules? I don't know if we have enough speed modules, because we wanted to speed module 50 speed modules. Yeah, I don't think this is going to be enough. We did speed module these pump jacks earlier, and then some of them got destroyed. Maybe these Yeah, let's just crash into every element that we can. Cool. I thought that... okay, also these refineries don't I mean, the third... Why did you not get any? These are also still on basic, and we do need to kind of upgrade this, but we're also not using enough plastic yet, so it kind of doesn't matter. Let's hit all of those things on the way as well. I thought there were... Yeah, these are the pump jacks that got destroyed, and we have not yet put the speed modules back in them, even though kind of doesn't matter. And then... Yeah, there's some coal up here, which would enjoy... it looks like we broke this thing, based on the fact that some of these mining drills are working and the others are not. We're only going to bother efficiency moduling the ones that are kind of in the middle that are more likely to be used. Also, the third one, for reasons, doesn't matter, and then all these yellow lights are, we're not even fully hitting that yet, so that's cool. How many? 47? Yeah, that's not going to be the number of speed modules we want. I think we're going to need these guys to do speed modules a bit more. You've never been working because the biters also attacked here and destroyed one of those inserters. At least these other ones have been running cool. So, what we're going to do to get more of the red chips out... Why haven't you been running? Oh, because you also... Yeah, when we changed the modules, when we changed these guys from modules to red chips, they did not have all of their inserters, so we should fix that. And then, yeah, this guy doesn't need to be doing this stuff. We are going to take a whole lot of these red chips from 2 prod mods to 1 speed, 1 prod, which is going to be fine. Speed module, yeah, red chips are kind of valuable, but also not a thing that are such high value that pushing for productivity the whole way at this point is going to be super valuable. Later we're going to turn these into, I think purple science is replacing yellow science as the thing that I enjoy more immediately after blue science, in that purple has beacons, it's got assembler 3s, it's got elevated rails. This one here needs... Okay, so that's going to get a bunch more red chips out, because most of that build has gone from 0.675 speed to 0.86 speed. So that's going to do a little better. We've gone from 8% productivity on some of them to 4%. As long as we can keep the blue chips going, that's fine. And then I think that was all we were going to module, wasn't it? We needed to do cracking. We also, that petrochem build we were just at, we also needed to convert to advanced petrochem, which we kind of don't have enough pipes for, maybe. This spot up here is also a spot where we have, yeah, we've got a whole lot of efficiency modules, which is going to make this mining a little bit more efficient. This is more about, yeah, pollution than power grid, although it's going to help the power grid a little. And then we also wanted to expand this to get more pipes and steel into the blue science. And then maybe we should also defend here? Yeah, this is the mining patch that's closer to all the stuff that I said I didn't want to push yet, so I think we are probably going to be defending here. And then also wondering how many more miners we can get out of this spot in particular. And yeah, hopefully we get to boss today. But then hopefully also we have a surplus of red chips and... this one is definitely worth having. Either of these more than 13, 26. 13 on each side is not more than 15, which means we're not jamming it up when we have productivity, so that's nice. Yeah, getting to bots would be nice, but we also want to do it in a manner that means that we have a surplus of red chips and steel, so we can immediately throw in a whole bunch of roboports everywhere, because the nice thing about... Yeah, the nice thing about the amount of resources we've got around and the amount of security work we've done is that we can just... Well, we're going to put all of these in, but I don't think we're going to module all of those. And we've got enough resources around, but the map is quite sparse in terms of we are going to... Yeah, we are going to need to take... The map is not sparse at all, the map is super dense with a whole pile of stuff, but we are going to need a lot of roboports to cover, and then also gun turrets. I don't want to be using red ammo here, but I guess we are, because that's what we've got, because we gave away all the yellow ammo. We also won't need either of these radars. We just had these radars. We had multiple radars in each place to kind of scan out the map so we could see what was going on, and this right angle suggests we've done that. These look like expansion bases. They're too small. This one is probably from map generation, but these ones look too small at this distance from spawn to be real bases, so I think we're taking expansions there is probably fine. We've only got another 3 splitters, so we've not done that super well. But the question is, how many more mining drills have we just added? We've just added another 2 belts of stuff. So that could be a full belt. Do we... 66 there. 59 there. I think we just do a cheap, nasty thing and say, you know what, we expect this to be 2 belts worth of iron. Therefore... we're just going to make this 2 belts worth of iron. And this also prioritizes the one that is, yeah, input priority. Let's set this one with input priority as well. So the outside, the top side of this other belt will be where any gaps are, which means we could actually take... Yeah, we could actually take this off here and go right, run this underground, because this will have a surplus, because... we looked at this bottom section of the belt having 66 mining drills, and we've got mining productivity, and we've got a bunch of more efficiency modules. So we should maybe utilize those. It doesn't really... I don't really mind which mining drill these go in, because it's also about global pollution. Sure, that's most of the mining drills. Okay, and then we're going to have 2 full belts of ore here, which is nice for us. And we've left our car behind, which we should go and get. And then we need... yeah, we need... actually, the thing we should do first is figure out where we're smelting this, because there kind of isn't space here. And I think we need at least 1 more belt of iron here. These guys are all doing work that's fine. And then... do we want 2 belts of iron here? Because we're not fully using the steel yet. But are all these guys running? Maybe we should be buffering the steel. Oh wait, no. That is not correct, because we're already trying to smelt more down there. I'm pretty sure we are already trying to smelt more stuff down here than we actually have the ore to use. Yeah, we're bringing 2 belts of ore back, but we're trying to put 1 whole belt of ore into each of these steel builds, and we're actually already using, close to 2/3 of it. We're expecting to have another... so I think we expect to have another half lane of steel, which I think means we can do that just down here. Yeah, I think... yeah, and then... this is also why we're short of iron now, because we only ever brought the 2 belts back. And, okay, that makes a lot of sense. In that case, we just need to do... yeah. We don't need to worry about where we put the rest of this stuff. We just need to run out of belt. I thought I picked up belt. Maybe I did not pick up enough belt. That's fine, because this other additional mall here does have belt that we can have. And then I've got some iron ore that we can just kick into that machine. We are kicking through the battery research. Do I have... I've got another... we're just going to smash these modules into, kind of any any mining drill, don't really mind. I will need more inserters, and that mall, because we're not doing much copper stuff there, does not have inserters. Am I still happy at the assertion that we should be getting towards bots today? Maybe. Are we just going to run... And I think we... Yeah, are we... Sure, we're going to do this. It's going to be fine. Okay, so we said we had... we actually don't want these belts to go in here like so. We want, I think... one of... Yeah, we want a third... We want a splitter, which we don't have, so that's super cool. Okay, fine. You guys just run through here like so. That's going to be everything you needed. And then this one is going to be a half belt of steel processing, which we're just going to bung in here. Can we get you underground here? Yes. Can you kick out like so? Also, yes. We are not going to find the inserters we need for this, but I think that's fine. And we also don't have the steel furnaces. Okay, that's also super fine. So we need inserters and then also power poles, of which I cannot craft. And then I could have, yeah. We just need to pick up a whole lot of stuff. Is there anything we want to do with... I believe all these labs have been moduled? Yes. And then we have the advanced cracking down here, which is doing nothing other than sulfur and power grid. And then also we do need to be cracking the heavy oil. I guess we are just... Yeah, we are running off tanks at the moment, which is fine. Okay, let's remember that we also needed that steel and then somehow get water over here for a cracking thing. How many? 17? Okay, so that means we would need five of these dudes, but we're gonna do 6 on cracking heavy oil to light, because it's one of these per 4, and we also would like to be able to work through a surplus. We also would like to be able to put lubricant somewhere here as well, but we'll get around to that in a bit. Yeah, flip those guys around. I had some number of pipes, but not many pipes. And overall, this is going to get the... I guess we do lubricant at the same time. And then we do this in a silly way that lets us walk through it, so that's fine. Okay, so this is going to crack us down to light oil, which is also here, and happens to fit in exactly the place we wanted to go us. Good things, but because we also want lubricant, actually what we're going to do, we're just going to slap lubricant over here. Why not? There are no downsides. We're going to do 2 on lubricant today, because I am still not sure how much we're going to need for the number of bots we will eventually need for yellow science, but whatever. Just fill 2 tanks of lubricant, it's going to be fine. And then these guys, we are going to tie a building to a tank. And then, are we doing... There's a lot of places we can do light oil cracking. Not going to worry about that yet. We're going to let this back up with light oil. Heavy oil greater than 6,000, because there's not really much else we need to be doing with this heavy oil at this point. You know, turn a whole lot of it into lubricant, because that's cool. Crack through this surplus, get us a whole lot of light oil, because these guys are doing important power grid business. In fact, we're just going to do a little more. This is not really worth my time, is it? Especially as these guys aren't running. Cool. I'm sure we've fortified the power grid. It's fine. I have enough to be moving that around. Yeah, I have enough to be driving a car around the place. I wanted inserters. Yeah, over here we have the steel furnaces that I want. I have the inserters that I want. No, we have the inserters further down, because all the inserters are getting on the belt to do science things. Here are the inserters we will need for the steel stuff. And then we're also just... Wait, why are we not getting... These all say working. So it's just... Okay, they nearly all say working. And then it's just the rate at which... It's because we're putting inserters on the belt here. Okay, fine. We are fine with that. It is not the best way things could be, but we are just going to deal with it. Oh, we were in the wrong place. We want to be over here. Because the steel is... Oh, wait, splitters are the other thing that I've remembered that I needed, of which we need iron plate. Do we just grab this from the belt here? I guess. 2 splitters. We need the green chips. Cool. This was why we should have just got splitters from the mall. Disappointed noises. So we have to figure out... Is this going to be enough belt? I don't think this is going to be enough belt. Fortunately, here is another 2 chests with more belt. We have to figure out how and where we're going to make batteries. And this loop down the side, we've got all the sulfur we need over here. We've got copper here because red science. We've got iron here because mall. I think this is the space where we're going to build the bot stuff. But I also don't know how we're going to do that yet. Why? Oh, that's just a weird belt delay artifact. That's fine. Okay. Things we want to do include getting this. Oh, we also definitely needed more power poles. That was a bit of a misplay. We also really need those. Can we get here... If you are split, there were a lot of other ways to do this, but it's the... Oh, it's the top line that actually needs to be split. Okay. In that case... Yeah, we've got half a lane here for... You are going to be a full belt. And then this other one kind of hanging off to the side is the half belt that will be... half lane of steel because we wanted more, but that's what we've got. And then this half lane, of which we may as well make half lane immediately, which will... It's actually the... We have lane balanced onto the correct side to get... aesthetics, not the thing we should be dealing with right now. Okay, good mechanics. Fine, great. Yeah, this belt can just wander in... Okay, that is also... not a look that I like, but whatever. Yeah, we could maybe bring in more iron from the east when we get around to it, but whatever. How... We will be able to do this with the 8 poles we have, don't we? Yeah, and then we'll need another 3 from the side. Let's get the damaged one on the map, so it's not taking up as much inventory space. So now we've got 3.5 belts of iron here, and we kind of want to tap it in... down here somewhere, although it's a little bit awkward to go the other way, so I guess we're just going to go here all the way through like so. Yeah, we like that. And then this is actually on this section. Yeah, okay. So we're going to continue to prioritize the close side of the belt, because that's the side that all of these guys will be taking off. And we have added more iron. I think we're pretty happy with that. We needed more power poles if we were going to do the rest of the steel build that we are not currently fully using. But I would like to... Maybe we should do batteries first. The thing is, I would like to do the steel build. Is there anything else we need to do? Actually, let's check on the grid quickly. Grid is actually fine. I should be less disappointed by that. And we're going to use solid fuel in the car. I know we kept coal earlier. But we are going to just use the solid fuel for that. Okay. Somewhere over here... This is going to be a weird setup, but it's fine. I should have counted how many... Yeah, we did one too many. I was not really listening to audio cues there, and I should have been. I should have been counting the number of ticks that was getting. Okay, the other reason why we're doing this here is because we can have... that ended up fitting remarkably well. And this is a position in which we can have... even, yeah, a kind of gross but fine way of getting more steel in here. And I am interested to see whether or not we end up, now limited by steel, having poked more iron in. And okay, you're going to go up here or something. This is still going to be a bit of a nightmare to drive through. Oh well. And then where is the steel? Is right here. Okay, that is a thing that's pretty easy to manage. We can just go belt here, other belt down there. That is the steel sorted. Would I like steel on my person? Maybe. Okay. All of that is going to back up, and we are. I mean, are these guys all? I just don't think we have the amount of blue science that we really want. I was expecting these guys to be hitting this, to be taking more of the steel out so that we didn't even need to bother with the steel. But we are going to change these guys back to efficiency modules because we've got enough speed modules to be able to re-speed module the rest of those red chips. Maybe we go and do that and then think about batteries and stuff. Because we've got other... Oh, can't get through here at all. Cool. We've got other efficiency modules there as well. And things like... Actually, not that coal. It's probably going to be the starter iron or one of the other... Actually, I think it's going to be the southern outpost infrastructure iron. Is it? It might actually be... The place best able to use these modules might be... These modules. Give me all of these. It might actually be the iron outpost that is feeding the green ships that we're using for these red ships. That might be the other place that we should visit because we have no defenses there either. So, yeah, we're still definitely in the space where... we did it this way around, didn't we, for consistency? Yeah. We're still definitely in the space where... we don't really want to be defending. We want to be pushing bugs out of the cloud because they will need to be out of where we will be defending later. And you're not getting enough plastic. Really? Oh, because we got these around the wrong way. Cool. Okay. I thought we had checked that all of those were running, but also whatever. Okay, so that's... We are now buffering red chips, which is the goal. We want a whole pile of red chips to be able to... We haven't even moduled that copper yet. Yeah, we still need a bunch more efficiency modules. And then it turns out we have prioritized the other side of the patch. Oh, and we also wanted efficiency modules for the refineries that are doing power grid and sulfur stuff. Refineries also really enjoy efficiency modules. And then we also wanted to do a solar panels build at some point as well, because we are planning on going to space, which means solar panels will be a thing we will need in bulk. And in a recipe, yeah, in a technology... Oh no, wait, I said defenses here as well, didn't I? We have 75 bullets, which means you guys get that many bullets. And I think we're mostly safe down here. What this probably means is that this outpost is going to get attacked from like the south or something where we've put no guns. But yeah, a thing I do like in a technology multiplier context is some solar power, because that's not the blue thing I wanted. This is the blue thing I wanted for my infantry. Get this out of my infantry. Yeah, we've got an iron surplus here. We've got an iron shortage in other places. We are not necessarily mixing all of... Yeah, we're not necessarily distributing the parts through the base effectively. There are definitely other places we could be using the iron better, but also whatever. Time to go and... Yeah, I don't know what we're doing with this either. Other bits of resources that are floating around that we could use, but probably won't. Time to get I should have left this plastic. Yeah, we need more pipes. Here we have some pipes. I hear some yellow ammo, which we could use. We are actually not going to. We're going to head... Are we just going to use... Are we just going to use red ammo for almost everything now? We might. I don't like it. But whatever. Wait, does this mean... Yeah, we are a large chunk of the way through the text that will get us bots, which is very exciting. It means we just need to get around to actually building the things. I don't need... Yeah, I've got enough of that. You have things that I don't want. Down here we've got these chem plants. We've got tanks. More chem plants, actually. We'll just also wander... Are we going to need more belt? We might need more belt. Wander back over to what we're calling the power mall. Yeah, we're not actually using all this steel, are we? I think maybe we should be buffering it, especially if we are planning on... Give me all these pipes, I just wanted to give you the furnaces. Especially if we are planning on using it for purple science later. If we move this belt, then we can have, say, here? Are we going to get too much in the way of trying to move, like... Because I still would like to be able to drive a car past this and or get trains through here later. We're not going to need a whole lot of steel. But this should mean that... Like, we're not going to worry about all of these, buffering all of these guys. Maybe we'll pull it out of here by hand at some point. Not a big deal. Just, yeah, bank a whole lot of steel that we can unpack at the rate of half a belt when we want to get around to doing purple science things. We need to go and do bots things. But we've also got... We've got a belt that we could use for engine-like stuff here, except the steel is just box-fed, which is not very nice, so I think we skip that. I think we wander down this side and realize that the engine supply here... Like, we could just use... I think we just use this for the engines for bots as well. If we just jump this over the sulfur... Then we can go engines in the same layout. Do we want to... Driving through here is still going to be a mess, isn't it? I don't think we necessarily need to leave space, but we might leave a little bit of space. This is also... If this is a bots build just for making bots, then that's vastly more bots than we need. Like, more engines than we will need for the bots we will be needing to build bots. Because we're not thinking about yellow science yet. But I think also that's going to fit, he said, with some amount of surprise. This is also way more bots than we need. It's especially way more bots than we need if we do speeds and prods here. I do like a little prod bonus when we can get one. This is going to be, yeah, way more modules than we need. Then if we run, that actually fits surprisingly well. I think this still wants to kick here because we've got to get the lubricant in, and then we can collect it like so. This I'm actually enjoying a whole lot, because if we just need to figure out how to get batteries onto this belt, then this one will have the green chips that we're using to make these engines. Wait, we will also need to go underground roughly here, because the plan is also to get... Do we want to get lubricant out that side? Because the lubricant is over the other side of the base, isn't it? The lubricant is to the right, so I don't think we could do lubricant over there at all, but it does mean that we can go in here, a bunch of places where we can do these drone frames, and I think we're going to do these all with productivity, because they like the productivity. How many did we... 6, but these are at plus 15%, whereas these are at minus 10%, so I think we go this many for no particular reason, and then don't bother picking up those rocks, and then output these in which direction? We're going to have green chips in all of these places, aren't we? So I think we do go out this way. Okay. So we have figured out... not there. We have figured out one of the easier problems for building bots. Why don't we have more stuff coming down this... Oh, because this is supposed to be the green chips and electric. Yep. I have caught up. I have remembered what we were doing. Yeah. We have planned like the easier part of the build, and now we just need to do acid, batteries, actually get the lubricant over here. But we are close to having a bots build. Nice things about big tech multipliers and marathon settings is you can there's more time to improvise where everything's going to go, and you don't have to worry about it quite so much because everything was always going to be a mess. Oh, you know what else we wanted? That I've also decided that we're just going to like straight up kludge in here. If this is... we keep this belt going, and then we can go engines, and then flamethrower here, which we have not researched yet, which also just takes the same stuff and is also really slow. These guys are also going to go, yeah, 1 speed and 1 prod. Cool, sure. Other things, we are implementing things that we don't even have recipes unlocked for yet, that we're not even doing the research for, so that's a thing that's super cool. All of these guys are, you know, more or less connected. That's all going to do what it needs to. This is more than... Wait, it's not actually that much more than we need, is it? Because these are... yeah, because of the difference in building speeds. I remember why we did that. Cool. Power all of this stuff. Power all of these things. Let's go and figure out where acid and green chips will get to. I think, does this just mean... where is this? Okay, let's go and find the belt of lubricant. And I think... the belt of lubricant? I think the pipe of lubricant is going to end up coming through... here? And I think it's not too far away. Okay, it's all the way over there. We're going to run it under the pump jacks, because that's a sensible idea. Yeah, just like straight through the middle of the crude oil, that's fine. Oh, we had efficiency modules for these refineries. Are these refineries backed up on heavy oil? They are. Good. Okay. I don't think we want to... yeah, I don't think we want to crack light oil into gas here, because we've got this system that will vent gas. The only other thing we're doing is... actually, we need the... yeah, we need to be... yeah, as long as we have enough gas for the sulfur and the acid is the other thing that gas is going to be doing. Okay, so now the lubricant is in the base. Do we have... all these labs are doing everything they need to? We are just kind of slow, but never mind. Oh, actually, this is the time where we flick this guy over for 6,000 instead of 18,000, because the research is faster and it's going to clear everything off the belt in a nice way. Okay, so we've got the lubricant that is not getting anywhere near the engines because it's still on the other side of the base. Cool. The position of those undergrounds is going to make that slightly awkward. We are going to need to take the copper and... because there's nowhere else over here that... yeah, we're going over here. Maybe we could get the iron from here, but we also still need to get the copper and the green chips over here as well. I think we've actually got... maybe we do have surplus iron over there. Maybe that is the plan, because that would let us take one belt of stuff here, because we could go send this underground, because maybe we're mauling more things. Splitter this, because maybe we're continuing to... in fact, we're going to be doing train stuff, aren't we? So we're definitely going to need more maul stuff. And then this guy pops out like so. We can also have this guy filter off the copper like so. We can have where we kind of want that up. It's got to be up here, doesn't it? But we also need to put batteries somewhere. Wait, we also need water, which we have here because we're bringing it over for the advanced cracking. So all of those things are fine. We just need to... Oh, hey, here is a way we can put it underground the science, which is going to be fine. Actually, we can run it parallel to a science belt, can't we? This is not a space we're ever going to need. Except the green ships need to go up from this line. Intermediates, lots of intermediates because extra mod planets and weird stuff like that. Okay, you're going to go up here because you've got to get into this belt here. And then where did the lubricant get to? Oh, the lubricant is also running below this green science. So we've got to bring this over as well. It does feel like we're going to get bots this episode, because we're kind of a stone's throw away from... Okay, we've got to do... I mean, we've got to do acid and batteries. But we do have a place where... Where do we have that we can actually make roboports? Oh wait, can we make roboports down here? Yeah, super easily. If we had an assembler here, I think that's going to do great things. I think if we went underground from here to here, get the stuff I don't want to see out of my inventory, thanks. And then we go here, we go 3 fast inserters, we go output inserter into a chest, 2 stacks, and this guy is in a great... Oh wait, can we do that now? No, because we haven't got any of the bots we need. And then this belt here is also the belt onto which we want to put batteries. This is straight up just a belt where batteries go. So if we had a belt that kicked in here and did something like this, should we module these guys as well? That seems appropriate. Let's start like here, and then let's give these guys... I mean, batteries are kind of a slow recipe, aren't they? We can also be doing... Okay, I think from over here we want to grab half lane of iron and half lane of coal. We did have other coal down here next to these explosives that could be doing a sulfur thing. We've got a variety of options for sulfur. These guys are running. We're seeing electric engines on the belt. That's fine. So these guys are 0.35 batteries each. These guys are 0.06. That is some math I don't feel like doing. We're just going to slap another one over here for a total of 6. 6 is a nice number of buildings to have in a row. We also did this for the heavy oil cracking. Can we keep out of the way of that stone? Because we're going to want to need that stone. Oh no, what did I... Oh, because... Yeah, because down here, when I was getting rid of all the steel I wanted, that I didn't want to see in my inventory, we accidentally gave away all of the pipes. That's fine. Okay. This stuff in here... we could actually do this... We could just do this with faster inserters. Would I like that more? Maybe? Okay, let's go and worry about how we're going to get the iron in here. Are we bringing... Because it would from here be super easy to bring in a belt of... half a belt of iron and half a belt of coal and using it for explosives. But I think we are going to put explosives somewhere else, he said, if eventually coming up with a plan. I guess we do hideous spaghetti things. Was that always going to be the plan? Probably. That line there is no good, as it turns out. We've got to go from over here. This is getting worse. You want to go underground from here to there. But it does mean that we can immediately filter this guy to half a belt of iron. Okay, and then do we want to... We don't need to manage I don't think we need to force into this. I think we will be fine. Oh, can we make this worse? I reckon we can make this worse in a way that I like quite a lot. The copper is... the iron is on the other side of this belt. Okay, we want to make this iron sideload this way so that we can actually fire the iron onto the same belt here, but on the opposite side to the electric engines, and then down here we can filter off the iron plate. So that is a plan that I like for getting iron down here, and I think we are at this point going to do the thing I was wondering about and move all of these guys again. Cool, great. Oh, I should have taken the chem plants first and then used an underground pipe to pick up all of that pipe. Oh, well, never mind. Because if this stuff goes underneath, then this belt can just straight run through here, and the batteries can go there, and then we can go in from this belt and out onto that belt in a way that I like. These guys don't need to exist. Where are we getting the acid? Oh wait, here is... okay, let's change our mind about that again, which we can do just by moving the inserters, because we can also have a dude like here that is making the acid. Yeah, we like... do I want to... yeah, okay, fine. We are going to move this guy so that we can have these guys sitting flush next to each other, because we are making aesthetic decisions, as it turns out. Okay, 2 speed modules for each of you. 1... how did you not get... okay, whatever. And how did you also get... okay, fine. 6.7 acid each. You are making 47 acid. That aspect is going to be fine. And then we're going to need undergrounds here to get the water in. You're going to want to get the stuff you need. And then the part of this plan that's particularly disastrous that I liked a lot, that when I realized it, concluded that I was definitely going with this plan. Yeah, we've already got a lot of sulfur going on this belt. Oh, in fact, this water line here is almost exactly what we need, as long as it doesn't break the pipe distance, which is fine because there's a pump not too far away, kind of nearby. Yeah, we've got a whole lot of sulfur, more than we need for the blue science, close to a full belt of sulfur, not concerned about that. This guy's making stuff. Do I have copper in my inventory? No. You can get whatever you want from my inventory, and then I have other random stuff. Cool. Yeah, the plan for this thing... oh, this is now on the wrong side, and it's kind of... some of the stuff is gumming it up, but it's fine. Yeah, you have stuff. You guys have stuff. Is... the reason why we're doing this dance here, and we might have to make this quite a lot worse, is... yeah, we can make this worse. We can make this so much worse. Okay, splitter here. Green chips on the left, but it doesn't actually matter. Yeah, so we're going to use the copper filter on the right. And then the green chips are already on the correct side to take that underground, which is cool. And then we do this little trick, and we need to change which side the iron and copper is on. We have done that, it's fine. And now we can just get rid of the other splitter, because the copper is already on... these guys have gone too far. The copper is already on the belt, and we were going to find a different way to get it in, and now we have got the same way to get it in. The copper makes its way over here. The copper is split off into this belt. The green chips are ending up over here and wandering around with the engines. The iron also shares a belt with the electric engines and then doesn't, so that's super cool. If if the engines and the electric engines and the drone parts don't end up well balanced, then we can repurpose this and maybe also some of this space to make more electric engines, depending on whether or not we need flamethrowers. Super happy with all of that. And now we have the batteries, which have their acid, just waiting on the copper, outputting onto this belt. We'll then make the drone parts we want onto this belt here, which I think we are just going to box. Let's go box, box. Can we get... And we can have an assembler here. Is this going to be... This is not going to be too much in the way. I don't think we build anything else down here. And then we have a roboport here. And we have these guys and another inserter like so. And we have the place where we could build the construction box. Okay, with that in mind, let's bump construction box to the front of the queue, because we have all the science built up on the belt, which we can totally just blast through the labs. We have the drone parts, which aren't being made yet because we're waiting on the batteries, but we're getting the batteries now, so that's fine. We've got other places... We've got a spot like just here that we could also just start building laser turrets if we wanted that. So all of this is going super well and I'm enjoying that a lot. Get this stuff out of my inventory. I think while we are waiting for all of that to happen, we go back to the red chips build. How do I... Oh no. This lubricant pipe through here has made it more difficult to drive a car through the middle of this build, which is... not a thing I think we really should be worried about, but is also a thing I'm worried about. Okay, give me the steel. Give me the steel. I've got the steel. Give me the gears. I've got the gears. These are also the things we need to make... Oh wait, do you have... You've got another 5k blue science in there. We don't even need to worry about properly engineering that section yet. It's fine. We've got enough stuff that when construction robots finishes, we should be able to have... Yeah, how many of these... I would rather not have some of this stuff in my inventory. Actually, that's what I need. I need a whole lot of chests. Maybe not that many chests, but I need a lot of chests because they do consume some crafting time when we get around to it. And give me... how many of these do we need? We've got like 8 stacks, so 4 stacks. This is going to be a decent number of roboports that we can eventually make. And I think we just run around and... I think the... Are you running? Sure, you're running. No particular reason. I think the copper over here is... Yeah, a big mining patch that's mostly running that could have a whole bunch of efficiency modules in it that is also... missing a spot there. Cool, enjoyed that a lot. Yeah, we'll just make our mining more efficient. And then also, I think a solar panel... Is a solar panel build the next thing? It is a thing that I would like. I think I started talking about the solar panel build and then didn't actually finish talking about the solar panel build. The thing I like about a solar panel build in a marathon run is that relative to say nuclear power has a big technology research cost attached to it. If we can find it, uranium mining, that's the wrong icon. I always go to the uranium mining. Where is the uranium mining? Does it depend on something else? Am I just not seeing it? Let's just go... Uranium mining is... Oh, it depends on concrete. That makes sense because we would need centrifuge and stuff. Yeah. 48,000 research for nuclear power, and then uranium mining is pretty cheap. This is a gated thing, so that's fine. So that's a lot of blue science to try and push through, whereas the solar power that we already have, which is not there, press the correct buttons. The solar power that we already have that we need to go to space with is 15,000. And then it's largely a material cost. And especially at the point where we're getting a whole lot of efficiency modules in our mining drills, it is like the material cost is going down when we have efficiency modules in our mining drills. We have prod mods in the green chips, which is also reducing the mining cost. All of these things reducing the material cost means I like solar panels as a concept. I just don't know whether we've got a spot where we've got... Okay, so over here we've got... Actually, maybe it's... Is it just right here? That would not be many solar panels, and also I kind of want that steel for other stuff, but steel here... yeah, maybe we don't bother with solar panels just yet. Oh yeah, these refineries are what we need to... Yes, we've got some of this power. This power usage will... That's an interesting point. If we are doing solar panel stuff, we are going to struggle to find... Like, if we are turning the power grid off, then we are going to affect the ability to put gas into sulfur into batteries. That is not something I'd really thought of. It's something we're going to largely ignore. I think we're going to... Yeah, we're going to do this from a car, because there are a couple of these dudes that would enjoy their efficiency modules, and then there are some coal miners down here that will also enjoy their efficiency modules. Yeah, we're just going to focus on the ones that are actually running first, no big deal. Okay, construction robots is taking longer than I thought, which maybe I should have seen coming from a... Yeah, maybe I should have seen that coming from a 60 times tech multiplier run. Oh well. What do I want? I want... We've got a bunch of chem plants. I think we're going to need more chem plants than that, because the thing I'm thinking of next is going and putting cracking in the other petrochem that's handling plastic, for which we will need... Oh, we could have done this from the power mall, couldn't we? These kinds of belts. Belts? Yeah, the pipe-shaped belts. Everyone is familiar with those kinds of belts. We also will want... I think that was everything. These guys... Yep. Let's go and put some cracking in the other petrochem build, because that is also a thing that everyone will enjoy having, and we are still running all of these red chips we are making from... Yeah, this little patch here. I've already used up all the efficiency modules, never mind. Oh wait, I was going to go back to the steel. That was why I was thinking about going to the power mall. We were going to go to the power mall. We could also be doing explosive things, but we also don't have the... we don't have any of the military research done yet, so we could have a bunch of explosives, but no landmines. Oh well. I wanted to head over to the power mall, because over here we have steel, and I would like another 4 stacks of steel. You don't have 4 stacks of steel. You have exactly 4 stacks of steel. So this means that as soon as construction robotics pops, even if we are... Yeah, even if we are... This recipe doesn't matter so much. We've already set up the place. We need radar coverage on the place in which we are planning to build a roboports is kind of important if we are just going to tap this in later. Okay, so now we have roboport coverage. When construction robotics finishes, we can turn this guy into roboports. We've got 2 spaces worth of roboports. We can turn this guy into construction robots, but we've also... Don't know what happened with the zoom there. Already got 250 drone frames worth of robots to go, which is very exciting. And then all we need to do is figure out what we're going to do with the bots. And I think the first thing just has to be... we've got a lot of ghosts in the power grid. We should... yeah, we should go and make sure that the bots can access the power grid, and they can be building out all of that stuff as we are trying to give them new jobs like mining and maybe some belt layouts and things like that. Can we dodge all these power poles? We cannot dodge all these power poles. Okay, we need... Wait, where is water coming from? Is this the closest water? Do we want this water because it's close to our other defensive positions. I think that is still some of the closest water, isn't it? Do we have... We do have... Okay, so we're just going to get building a thing. Also, we could just... Okay, I am changing my mind on this, partly because it's entertaining. I think we are going to have bots build all this for me, because I don't feel like doing it myself, and we already have a bots build somewhere else, and this will let us not build it, which is nice. Okay, we should do the thing we said we were going to, which is you want to make me roboports. Congratulations. I also want to make roboports. 17 roboports. Bang it into the queue. It's real nice. We want to... Yeah, we need to get roboport coverage over here, because I basically don't want to build... Oh, wait. Did we miss one of these out? No, it's fine. It's just that one particular ghost. Yeah, I don't really want to build these myself. I would much rather that someone else would build it for me, but that means we need roboport coverage. I think also this means... This is not too far, is it? This one is already further, and then we've also got water from... Like, the pump is here at the top of the thing, and the pump is going over to... So I'm convincing myself that we do not need... this is the second car. It's fine. From this water pipe here, we can go to... we're just going to kind of go out into the middle and know where it's going to be fine. And then wander over here, mostly looking at the map rather than exactly where I'm driving. Yeah, we can tell that because we should have gone another... We should have gone here. Yeah, that's a good spot. And then we can have... We don't have landfill yet, so we can just queue this. Yeah, we are going to get... I do like having just more pumps than I need for no particular reason. It's fine, don't worry about it. And now we just need to link... We also need green ships, for which fortunately we have... Yeah, just... I guess we're doing this on foot. Yeah, just throw these around the place. I don't think we were trying to drive through there anyway. I also don't... Oh, we were supposed to put cracking down here, weren't we? That's a thing we can do later as well. I don't think we are trying to put any light oil stuff in here. I think all the oil processing at this location is straight up just we're making all of the gas for all of... Do I have efficiency modules? No, you guys maybe need efficiency modules, whatever. Yeah, we're just going to make all of the gas for all of the plastic, for all of the red chips. We're going to need all of that going forwards. Don't worry about it. Roboports in the middle of this stuff. Yeah, and then I wanted green chips. I wanted a lot of green chips because... The things we want to do with green chips include just have all of these chests. And then we're just going to bang these into the handcrafting queue and not worry about it. Yeah, it's a weird pile of junk over here. Yeah, we've got a couple of random bits of... I think we want to do this differently. So that we can use... Yeah, my inventory's a bit of a mess at this point. This is going to just be a little trick to let us use fewer red chests, although I don't really think that matters at all. And then you take most of this belt. What's gone wrong? Okay, so if we can do one stack on each of these guys, that's fine. And we've got one chest... Okay, you guys were also just hand-fed, weren't you? And you were also a temporary build, so I think we just ignore you and walk away from it, is the plan. I've got all the cars. We've gone back to physical damage. Do we want bot speed first? Kinda doesn't really matter, because we don't have a plan to do anything with it. These two also want to be robots. We need to make sure that we are pulling... Oh, hey, you know what we can put in this gap here? We can put a roboport in this gap because we're not putting beacons here because these guys are eventually going to be... are still going to be modules which we're going to quality modules, so we can't put beacons there because they don't have the sorts of quality bonuses. Yeah, we're not yet at a point where we can get the quality bonuses that would really benefit from being able to put speed modules there. I think that probably is a thing we're doing later. Yeah, okay, let's go and also get... Do I need more? No, I need more red chips. But things that we want to be... You want to be Roboport coverage, you want to be Roboport coverage. We just need to get more Roboport coverage in here, so we're just going to need to continue to do all of this stuff. We're not even going to be particularly efficient about it, or at least I'm going to say that I'm not going to be particularly efficient about it, but also we're kind of low on Roboports at this point. I hope we've got a whole lot of Roboports elsewhere in the build. Yeah, all of these things, your mall, you guys are not that. I also wanted to come back over here. Yeah, those are the two. These two. You, and then also the wood logistic filter, pretty important. This fuel line, cool, whatever. And then somewhere we want to just keep putting, you know what, bots can do that one. And then we can just fire a bunch of these. Oh, do I have efficiency modules? I've got 2 efficiency modules. We want to get these in here as well. Okay, I think we need to start actually manufacturing bots, because we're not doing that yet. We're all set up for it, but we're not actually doing it. We've got to wander over here. We've got to find... I've got 3 Roboports left. You make construction robots, and you put them in this Roboport, and you will continue to get green chips for as long as the total number of construction bots, T, is less than, I don't know, 1,600 seems like a decent number. I've got a bunch of stuff that I don't really want, including these electric engines, and now we have robots, which is very exciting, and we want to put, yeah, it's not going to be easy in the car, is it? We want to be able to get... So we do have a surplus of these. We could do laser turret things. You want to be in Roboport range. So let's have a Roboport. Let's get rid of this radar because that was just for coverage. Roboport here, you have never done what you needed to, but it's fine. Don't worry about it. This is still not in Roboport range, so Roboport here. We've got a large number of Roboports. We are fine with it. So, bots should now be working on... I don't know if I've given them any that they can reach, though. So let's make sure they have some that can reach. Let's get... Is that going to be in the way of where I want to build solid fuel later? I guess the vertical one is already going to be doing a thing. Okay, whatever, that's fine. Just keep building these guys over to the mall. This power pole we're definitely going to move because I just really liked where that other Roboport would fit. Are you guys even in the same network? Yes. Yes. Okay. Because we also need to get all of the different malls and also the... I think we're going to have one in there because it's just... Okay, it fits real nice, but we also like to drive through that spot, so we're not going to do that. We are going to move this power pole... Where was it? It was down here somewhere. This power pole is going to move because I liked this spot as a place where we can have a Roboport that actually doesn't connect to other Roboports, but it will soon, so that's fine. Roboport through here, Roboport over here, Roboport into the other mall. Roboport coverage. This is, yeah, I am not necessarily regretting decisions, but oh, we also need generic storage, don't we? None of those are actual generic storage. Yeah, this is that's a nicer spot for one. And then we have a bunch of these on us. Roboport here, because we might be taking a lot of things from this mall. And then we need to... Yeah, I think next to the generic storage of Here's going to be the generic storage, into which I will throw... I may need these. Bots can have some of those things. You can also have modules, because you might like to do things with modules, maybe. And let's make sure the rest of this mall gets the Roboport support that it deserves. Mining drills, you should probably be... Yeah, you're also going to be storage, whatever, don't really mind. Inserters and mall stuff. Inserters and inserters. This is why we wanted a whole lot of... This is why we wanted a whole lot of, chests. We are not connected yet. As soon as we get the rest of these Roboports in, and I have taken some of the Roboports, as soon as we get these Roboports in, we should see... Yeah, all of those robots disappear because they are now taking the pipes over here, which is super cool. That's totally the plan. Or we also need to get... yeah, this is the point where we're going to start dropping my expired miners off things. We would like to get, with no particular concern for accuracy, those are not, in fact, they're probably too close, whatever. I don't like where that is, but also never mind. Yeah, here's good. Oh no, wait, there's one here. We don't need those at all. Yeah, we want to be able to work down towards where we have these bits of power grid that we would like bots to build for us. That's going to be a big part of the plan. We're not really getting attacked here anymore, so never mind. Is there a spot... Here's a spot where we can jam one of these in. If we put a Roboport in here, it's going to make it difficult to drive through later. But whatever. Ditto there, whereas this spot is kind of already... If we... Okay, 2 Roboports there, whatever. If we drive through there, we're already going to find that we are kind of blocked by... Yeah, we're not going to be able to go through there easily because of where the ship is. No big deal, it's fine. Weird piece of copper there. Never mind. Okay, yeah, grab some of this stuff back, grab this back. Yeah, and then the other thing we needed was a cracking pattern. Can we have all of this, please? Actually, let's just start with a copy-pastable section, and then find over here. How many of these guys do we have? 18, which means we also need 5. And then there's water over here. We could do it up here. I think the other thing I want to do, is have, where? Here? Yeah, here. We want this one to be stone filtered, and then this one to be coal filtered. So that when we go and just drop these things on the belt, like after these end up placed and end up in logistic range, are they in logistic range? Now they're in logistic range, and we will be able to just delete rocks off the map and find bots other cool things for them to do while they are... yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, find bots other cool things to do while they are waiting for us to figure out what we're doing with the rest of the mining and smelting and all that kind of stuff. Okay, socket those guys with modules. I'm pretty sure we've got some modules floating around. We need 2 more basic assemblers? Where? Oh, here! In this old mall pattern that we have not really figured out what we're going to do with. That's fine. Okay. We've also noticed an old box of stuff over here. Yeah, these guys here, which may as well be in... Where is my general storage? My general storage is over here. These guys may as well be in general storage. Sure. Red belt was the other thing. And Do we want to give the bots some repair packs? I think we probably do want to give the bots some repair packs. I've already made some number of repair packs, and we are up to 314 bots already. The bots are... I'm not seeing... Oh yeah, we just need to work on getting these rubber ports out. The bots have... Yeah, they do. We could be building all of those out. We're just for some reason not. Okay, let's continue working down here. Because the other thing we want to do... They're connected? They're definitely connected. Is get Roboport coverage over this bit of the power grid. And the other thing which I think we're going to do is... Like, there is a line here whereby we can tap more fuel into this section of the power grid, because I don't think that the coal, when all these other steam engines are in, are quite going to cut it. But I think that does mean that say a line here. Yep, I'm happy with that. Roboport, are you not actually in build range of anything? Oh no, you're getting built, and then you're going to happen, and that's all going to be fine, and then the rest of the stuff is eventually going to get there, yeah, sure. So the bots are already turning up and asking for these jobs. Yeah, this line of solid fuel, we can, and it's already not too much in the way. We can just poke this into the other bit of the power grid. Also, we need this other completely different mall section, definitely in the Roboport network. So now that's going to be handled, and we can get another Roboport in here. That's kind of more than we need. I think we're going to need more chests, because we want chests in here as well. These guys got to be chests. These guys got to be chests. Yeah, so for that I have just more boxes, and then I need green chips and red chips. Let's continue turning these guys into furnaces, because we're going to have to do that as well. Overall, we are still... This is the limit of lab speed, isn't it? Okay, is there a fast tech, like 15 seconds or so, that we will be able to crank out and enjoy having? 30 seconds. Landmines, 30 seconds. Flammables, also 30. Yeah, there's just a whole lot of... Personal battery, there it is. There's a whole lot of stuff we still definitely want that we need to get in the queue, that we need to work through. We can also have our combat shotgun now. That is a good thing to be able to put into the list of stuff we want. Bots are needing belt. They should have belt. Oh, wait. Didn't we have... Yeah, no, bots have definitely got everything they need to build all the stuff. Even though they have... Yep, cool. Bots have definitely got all the stuff they want. We were heading over... Why were we heading over to the power mall? It was to drop off this stuff. But it was... We also wanted green chips and red chips to be able to get... Do we want... I don't think we want to be handcrafting the rest of these boxes. I think we want to be finding a place that has steel and green chips, which is also just here. Do we need... I don't know if we need this many tanks at this point, but we also don't want... Like this space that we just pulled these guys back from, we need the steel. I guess just here, but then we can no longer drive through this space. If we did steel chests into logistics chests, we could no longer have that in that spot. Never mind. Okay, I think we're just going to wander... We're just going to wander back down here. We're going to try and get rid of this coal. That kind of worked. We're now building these green chips again. Okay, sure. Yeah, the rest of these, and then it is just down to steel. 44. I mean, is that a whole lot more than we want? Probably yes, not super concerned. Okay, did we get the rest of this into build range? Because that's also kind of important. Let's go, let's continue to deartosify this... Yeah, continue to deartosify the grid. Oh wait, did we get the... We have not yet got these two storage chests in. That's a little bit of a shame. Can we get... When we get modules, can we please be moduling all these mining drills? And yeah, we're just force building all of this so that whenever what we're blueprinting lines up with what's already there, they'll get their things. Some of these guys we won't need. Some of these guys definitely done. And then also we will need to push Roboport coverage that way. All the way down here? Yeah, let's go all the way down here. It's going to be fine. And then also we need to get Roboport coverage in here as well, which we're going to do in a couple of spicy ways. How far does this connect? So if we did put another one over this side, we would have build coverage over the entire thing, yeah? Are we not... We are? Oh, we don't have the splitter. Why do we not have the splitter? Guys, oh, that's a good reason for you to not have access to splitters yet. Okay, let's solve that problem. These things that we removed are just going to get another Roboport in the middle. It's going to be fine. Let's junk another Roboport in here because sufficient coverage through the mall is super good. Let's notice there's a car over here that maybe shouldn't be. And let's also, yeah, just continue to put Roboports in places where they're gonna be useful, including building all the way out here. And then I think we are going to need to consider, like, this is more Roboports than we need. I'm not super concerned about that. That's never a thing that these bases that I build are particularly good at, but whatever. We've got Roboports sitting around, I'm sure. Oh, we don't. Why don't we have Roboports sitting around? Because you don't have enough gears. Why don't you have enough gears? Is this iron? Oh, because we've got gears here, but then also no gears. Okay, this is a problem we can solve. We would need the gears. This is going to make it difficult to drive through this gap, isn't it? How do I feel about that? I think what we do... Yeah, we're going to wander over there and solve this problem slightly differently, but not particularly differently, because I can't run on that. It's going in the wrong direction. If we kick this tile over by one and rotate this and put a splitter here, then we could also have more gears here that get into... Yeah, I think this is going to be fine. You can get in... Okay, let's try and keep this tidy a little bit. Maybe a moot point. I think I would like to get more iron over here as well, so I think we can... Because these guys have got a bunch of iron, and then maybe balance your stuff, and this is going to affect the amount of iron that ends up over here, but also whatever. What I really want is Roboports. I've got some gears, yeah. In order to get Roboports automated, we've kind of got to go through the majority of the blue science first. But also I've got 6 more Roboports, so you can just go over there. Yeah, Roboport stuff can live in this chest as well. No big deal. Yeah, we now have this power grid getting expanded. We still don't have these guys built. I think we have messed up. Put this here. I think we have missed... this guy doesn't actually connect to anything. That would be what's doing it. So we can have a Roboport. Where isn't in the way? He is kind of not in the way, is it? That's actually that is the space that we drive through, because the inserter and the power pole here are making driving through this spot a little bit tricky. I think we put it here. So I actually want to take... I wanted to take 2 of those myself, but we've also lost them. So I think I'm going to take some red chips. Yeah, we need to think about what we want to be building next. because we are in the situation of being able... Yeah, the research is going, we are expanding, all of that super good. Give me... Okay, that's more steel than I wanted, and that's less steel than I wanted. I wanted an intermediate amount of steel. We've dropped a car somewhere, the car's down here, whatever, fine. Not super concerned about that. Okay, so I think we want to think about going to space, because going to space is pretty big. We want to think about purple science as well. I wasn't here to get the other car. I was here to go towards red chips and gears and pick up other things like that that would let us... give me some of this stuff. Yeah. We're actually... Yeah, because we're not doing a blue science at the moment. All of this stuff is just building up. I think we want to... Yeah, it's still going to be purple science and space science that are the next major priority, and I've not really figured out which of those I want done first yet. I don't have roboports. I was going to get things that would let me make roboports. But at this point we've also got flamethrowers and... Yep. We've also got flamethrowers and... Wait, there's no gears over here, are there? There's no gears in a box. The gears in a box are in the mall. We've got flamethrowers. We've probably got a bunch of wall. I think we could spin up some more wall automation so that we could do some defensive constructions. But the other thing we don't have, this is not where I want it to be. The other thing we don't have is a rail network yet. So maybe we want to think about rail and or space science and or blue and purple science. Roboports was what I wanted, and then I need more steel. Yeah, if we get more steel, we can have a whole bunch more roboports. All of that is looking pretty good and healthy. And then we've got to figure out how and where we are expanding things. I think because we don't have any... Because we don't have any rail set up yet... gears. Because we don't have any rail set up yet, I think we're thinking about belt expanding some things. There's no gears going into boxes here. Interesting. Do you guys have... Everyone should be running at this point. We should be able to help you just run. These guys are still running. The grids are not fully built because we have not added the roboport down here that's getting us build range. Do we want to add? Yeah, I think we add. Why not? Let's add a couple more on this side because there's definitely space. Let's also just... This seems unnecessary. Totally unnecessary. Okay. Here there's also... Oh, there's no gears in a box in this mall. Fascinating. Okay. Have we at least got... No. We have still not got these boxes built, and we are complaining. But I thought I gave you... Did I take back all the boxes? Because I meant to give you all the boxes. And I might have not quite done that. I think I put them in a different box and then moved the box and put all the red belt over and didn't do the cool whatever. Yeah, where are we going to... I think we need to destroy the space. I think we need to destroy the space. We put some walls here with the bots. I think we want the flamethrowers as well. But the first thing I think I really want is a whole lot of steel, and then to figure out how and where we're getting that steel. And I think it's going to be these two. And we do smelting here, for which we have a steel smelting plan. Looks kind of like this. It's got some roboports in the middle of it as well, don't worry about it. And yeah, we're going to be able to get several belts of steel out of this, aren't we? So if we just go steel, yeah, that one can stay actually. And then also, because I'm pretty sure the coal belt feed through the middle of this is kind of weird. That's going to be 6 lines of... Oh yeah, this coal field is... This coal feed is super wonky. Okay. A decent place to put a whole pile of coal. You are going to want to feed that... Actually, this is... How are we doing this with this weird little wiggle here? Okay. I think also then we have an inserter like so, and that's how we get fuel in here. Do these guys... Okay, if we're putting a splitter here, then we also need to put a splitter here to make sure that these 2 lanes are still... Oh, we kind of don't, do we? But the plastic is going more now, which is nice. That's a thing we were somewhat concerned about. This is also going to connect on the bottom, which is great. So we will build this. This is enough for 6 lanes of steel. I think we're going to need more than that. So we've also got all of these roboports in the blueprint. So we should just be able to find out where this lines up. Smash that in. Have we got these boxes? We have now got these boxes. Okay, amazing. So that means we can also just have bots work on pulling up all these rocks. Nicely employed bots working on pulling all the rocks off the map. It's not their most valuable job, but it is one of the jobs we're going to make them do. Where was there? Oh, there were a whole pile of rocks down here that were just not actually in the way. But, you know, get on with it. No bots free. 900 bots in the network, none of them free. Clear all of this space up. Clear all of these guys up. I don't think we need to make bots grab trees yet, because we just don't need that. But actually what we... Yeah, this is kind of a little bit of a misplay, isn't it? Because if we are going to outpost all of that steel, then we probably should take some bots with us, rather than giving them all those jobs. Which is mildly unfortunate, but never mind, especially as... Oh no, it's fine. We are not even concerned. We can have another of... Yeah, all those robots are going to be able to do what we need to. Yeah, I'm going to have enough robots. I also need guns at this point, don't I? I don't have... I've got 4 more guns left. That is an issue. Okay. Scrape some of this iron and copper off the belt. Yeah, give me these guns, I guess. Everything that's here that's in the network... Yeah, almost everything that needs to be in the network is in the network. And then iron here. It was for guns, wasn't it? I want all these guns. And we've also got solar panels now. If I just picked up... Oh, is that because green chips? If I grab these green chips, I can not have solar panels because I don't have enough copper. That is a problem we can solve down here. Oh, this is all jammed up again. Maybe we do this differently, but we probably won't. What we can do is module these guys differently. Okay. Yeah, that solar panel build that we were thinking about doing, we're not going to do. We're just going to get 11 solar panels. If we had some batteries, we could go and get those batteries as well. Where is the... Yeah, we had some cars. We left the car behind. We're going to want these guys, because they're gun turrets that we can use. Where is the car? Yeah, car is in the mall. I wanted belt. I wanted... do I have... I don't really have enough miners. Now I have enough miners to do the iron drop that we want to. I will need this belt. That's not enough belt. I will keep this copper, because we should be able to find somewhere things to make more guns with, which is nice. And then I'm making some of the... Yes, 1,000 robots, no jobs free, that's fine. I'm making some gears myself, but that's fine. And then also swing back here to the batteries, because we're actually limited by engines. and we are limited by engines because that's just the rate that the engines are coming out of the build. That is totally fine. Let's have 2 personal batteries, which is going to be, I mean, more than we can do anything with. Don't even worry about it. It's fine. Do we want a landfill thing there? Do we want a wall automation thing there? Because we do have... no, the coal was down here, wasn't it? Okay, but do we have... We have the solid fuel making its way into power plants. We have these guys getting built. We have the rest of the power grid getting built. Power grid is now super healthy. I wanted more belt, and one of the places that we have belt is... Oh, actually, you know what we need? This one is pretty important. We need... These guys are all still on their basic recipe. And I think, yeah, and also this is running down. So, let's change this to their advanced recipe, which means these guys are going to need cracking as well. Let's use this pattern of tanks, because I like this pattern of tanks for no particular reason. Here looks like a spot. Here also looks like a spot for the heavy oil. And then we've got water. We've got power, and I think in here we said also 5... Yeah, we said 5 cracking for each of these, didn't we? But we're also not... Why? Oh, because we broke these. Acceptable. I am fine with that. Everyone else is just getting all their stuff done. Cool, great. Yeah, continue to module all these things harder. Multitasking. Do we have many efficiency modules sitting around at the end of the red chips at this point? We've still got a lot more. Okay, good. I guess that means all of these. We were going to do some cracking by the red chips build that we just depleted of plastic because we broke the coal feed, but also these guys want all of their modules, and if we've got that many efficiency modules, it might be worth going to... Is this one going to connect? Yeah, those are going to connect, aren't they? It might be worth going to the 3rd efficiency module in each mining drill, which is not as good as... Like, it's not worth... The 3rd efficiency module doesn't do as much work as the 2nd, but... That's okay. And then all of... Yeah, these guys are going to more or less collect here. Actually, they're going to be on the other side, aren't they? They're going to be further over here. And we're going to tag these guys in like so. Things that bots can do, they'll be fine. We are going to need to worry slightly more about getting... did we do 8? Yeah, we did 8. Okay. That's... I mean, we are going to be able to get that much iron. That is not a concern. The concern is... actually, 2 concerns. Maybe we should be doing this with the red belt. Oh, well. We're just gonna... here... And then bots are still being given jobs so they can just work their way out towards the patch. We've still got 200 bots free of jobs, which means everyone is getting everything done. Cool, that's great. We wanted to give this guy some cracking. Are we at least getting... So the coal is getting through, the plastic is restored, that is nice. We wanted cracking, for which we... Why were we... Oh yeah, we were going to go and outpost that steel, weren't we? I think the steel outpost is going to be the last thing we do, and the thing we want to do just before that is... We're not going to do a cracking plan like this, actually. We're going to do a wave defense style cracking... Oh yeah, these go all shut down because of the plastic thing, sure. Yeah, if we go... water's over here. Here and here. If this guy is gas cracking, if this guy is oil cracking, you know what I mean. We're going from... This is not even at full extension. I Let's find where full extension is, because actually that is the right position. Yeah, we would like pipes here. Is that quite... That's not quite the right place, is it? Here. Oil here. Flip one of these guys. It doesn't actually matter which. Oil comes through on one side. Yeah. Now, we said we wanted 5 of these. We said we wanted... So this little pattern will directly crack all of the heavy oil we have down to gas. I don't know how many of these... Actually, let's find out, I guess. I have a chem plant. If we set you to this... Yeah, if we set you to the gas cracking recipe, you deal with 15 light oil per second, which means that if we want to take all of the light oil from this thing, and we have 9, we've got a slight surplus in here, which is fine, but we've got 18, and then it's more or less, it's 1 to 2 plus a couple more, so we actually want another 10? We want another 10 of these guys? Okay, can we figure out how to do that in a way that's good? If we have... Because we could just extend this pattern down, but I don't like that a whole lot because... yeah, can we do something like this? But that's still a mess, isn't it? Yeah. Oh wait, this has made it extremely difficult to combine those two dudes in a way. Like, also we don't need to worry about connecting these to... We don't need to worry about circuit conditioning these things. We can just blast all of the... yeah, we can just blast all of the petrochem out because... we're not making lubricant or anything here. Oh yeah, the other thing which is pretty important, maybe we should power this, might be big. So we've connected the gas, we've connected the water, the heavy oil... We're going to be slightly annoyed and just wander this through here. The light oil, I was kind of hoping we could sneak it through here, but I don't know if we're going to do that. That means this is going to be worse. This is definitely worse if this is the way we're doing the light oil. So that's going to crack... Not nearly enough of the light oil. Yeah, I am not happy with the idea of just slapping in another bunch of these, because it means we need to push these guys out as well, but it's also what we're going to do. Actually, if we could we... If we just kick this down by 1 tile, I think that is the good play, because then we can also grab some of these, spin these vertically here. Yeah, and then we have this pattern on this cracking as well. No, wait, because the entire point was this input and output was shared, wasn't it? Okay, things I dislike. We are not going to worry about it. We're just going to build that. We needed the belt and also maybe gears for more roboports, because I've got a pile of roboports, which is cool. I need some roboports, and we realized this was a location that was not putting gears in a box. Fascinating. Yeah, we just want to go and... Wait, do I have power poles? Okay, I do have power poles. I'm going to need some more power poles. More power poles. Any steel that's here and it isn't. Gears from a box. Make me rubber ports. Make me put these batteries in. We actually don't have anything to do with this yet. And we have made, yeah, too many batteries because there's not enough space for... an exoskeleton and some gear, but never mind. I do want to start using the bots that I've got. Do I have... I have gears. I can actually go and get some more red chips and kick off another Roboport handcraft, which is pretty exciting. Give me these things. And more of these. Give me all of these modules as well. We will need those because we are going on... Oh yeah, we actually needed... Yeah, so we need to figure out a way to get this coal in here, but also having buffered most of this is still going to be advantageous. We want to connect this over here to deatoxify our power lines. And then the last thing we're going to do today is figure out which one of these iron patches we're going to get first and do some bot mining, because everyone likes bot mining. Give the bots mining drills. I don't think I bought enough undergrounds for this, did I? Okay, you get all the stuff, and let's actually... Yeah, I will need some of these to be able to make the blueprint. Yeah, we are going to... I think we have to do this left to right, don't we? I think if we try and do this top to bottom, there's going to be too much in one line. And yeah, let's get a mining blueprint. Everyone likes mining blueprints. Two efficiency modules per mining drill. Snapped grid, relative position. We have a bot-based mining drill blueprint. Okay, amazing. You guys are doing everything you need to. You've got a storage chest. I give you all the stuff. I was just looking at the stuff. Why did I lose track of the stuff? And then let's get some mining going. 7. I counted 7 slaps there, which means that is already... Yeah, those are full belts. That's 4 lanes of mining. So, let's also get some of this stuff out the way. Do we want to... I guess we can take some of these rocks with us. Doesn't sound like super high value, but whatever. We will need to defend this, and we're not going to do that now. We should also... Oh yeah, we also don't have... This is why I bought the gun turrets, isn't it? Okay, that guy's going to be in my way. It's going to be somewhat annoying. But we have done all the... We've done all the research we wanted to? That's unexpected. I guess it is time for either landmines or flamethrower. I guess we're not doing flamethrower yet. We've got to do this guy first and then flamethrower. So that is some good advancement. We're going to want the electric furnaces to get into the purple science. Everything is advancing nicely. We're going to go and do this at the other lane, at the other iron patch as well. It's not too far away. We're going to worry about defending this later. We have not enough belt to run this back to the base, but never mind. Yeah, definitely advancement. We got the bots. Things going pretty well. We are starting to scale. Do we want to drop another power plant somewhere else? I don't know. How bad is the cloud? It's not too bad. I think if we can get flamethrowers, we would still need trains and fluid wagons to lock down the land bridges that we're thinking about. But we are definitely making everything worse.